Hello, salve, amici Latini, or hello, friends of Latin, or salve discipuli, if you are a student listening on here. Today we are doing chapter 11 or lesson 11 in Prima Latina. Lesson 11 goes over proper nouns. The practical Latin we learn is weni widi wici, or weni widi wiki if it was in classical Latin, or veni vidi vici in ecclesiastical Latin. I personally like the classical Latin there, so weni vidi wiki would be the proper way for this Latin saying. Because Julius Caesar said it, and he would have spoken in a more classical language accent. It means I came, I saw, I conquered. This is the perfect opportunity, if your students love history, to go over why Julius Caesar said that, or to point out that this is one of the most popular Latin sayings everywhere, and people still use this phrase in English even when they overcome something. It's a wonderful quote to use. I have a picture of Julius Caesar up on my classroom wall, and even this Latin saying up on my wall too, because it's really important and a really good phrase to know. But this lesson goes over proper nouns. A proper noun is a noun that names a specific person, place, or thing. As most Prima Latina students will be in the second, maybe first grade, second grade, third grade, they might know what a proper noun is already. So this will be a little easy of a lesson, but we go over this in Latin as well. So it might be a review lesson for me, it's second graders, for the second graders. But we go over what is a common noun, and I make sure that they know like table is a common noun, desk is a common noun, seat is a common noun, because they don't really have any sort of name associated with them. And then I point at my coffee machine, which we have named Oscar, and Oscar is a grouch. And so I say, Oscar, this coffee machine is named Oscar, and that is a proper noun. And I make little jokes like that are a little silly. But we go over, pastor is a proper noun. And then we also talk about what is the difference between proper nouns and common nouns. Let's list them out. Common nouns don't have a proper name. Proper nouns have a capital letter in their word. It's the first one. Just like how you spell your name. Your name always has a capital letter to start with. So we have, in the book, we have an example of a girl. A girl is a common noun. And the noun Sylvia is the girl's name, which is the proper noun. And then they go over a capital letter. This is a good lesson for the students to have whiteboards on their desk or scratch pieces of paper so they can go over and list out as many common nouns as they can think of. And some kids will often be like, oh, I'm going to spell everything wrong. It's okay. This is not spelling class. Just go over and write out as many words as you can think of that are common and many words you can think of that are proper. And then they give you what they did for common and proper nouns. The vocabulary for this lesson is Roma or Rome, Italia or Italy, Maria or Mary, Marcus or Mark, and Hispania, Spain. These are words that if you continue on with Latina Christiana, you will have learned in Latina Christiana. These are good words to learn. Go over history lessons with them. We use Maria a lot in the Christmas story. Marcus is often a name example given for a boy's name in Latin stories. Hispania is where we get the word Hispanic from. So that's a great word to do. And then we have our new Latin prayer. This is the table blessing. I love teaching this. And then as a school, we go over and say it, the Benedict Domine Nos. And then the first line is Benedict Domine nos. Benedict Domine nos. Benedict Domine nos. Bless us, O Lord. We often will say that first line about 3 or 4 times, and then we'll say the whole prayer together, maybe twice. Derivatives. I love talking about derivatives, and the kids have started to like it. 11 lessons in. We go over every derivative and underline the Latin root. This is an important skill, and which will help them greatly in the future. Getting them to think about words and having a Latin root. So for example, Roman, I would have them underline Roma, because that is the Latin root. At this point in the year, the kids actually can recognize the Latin root for me. So they will be like, oh, look up here, Roman comes from the word Roma, and Roma is in Roman, so they'll underline that. Italian, Spanish, Spaniard, and Hispanic all come from these words as well. On our workbook pages, we have recognizing a noun, verb, and proper noun. Those are review words, review concepts. We also have the lesson 11 questions. A noun is that names a specific person, place, or thing is called a common noun. List 3 proper nouns. Oh, specific person, place, and thing is called a proper noun, sorry. 3 proper nouns you know. What is the easy way to recognize a proper noun? Capital letter. What is a proper noun for each of these following nouns? So now they have to give a name for each of those. And then the rest of the lesson looks very much like what we've done in the past. For the fun practice, this is where my activity I had with the whiteboards comes in handy because they already know what to do. So we do that together. We don't do fun practice together, but we do the whiteboard practice together. So, and then they can remember from when they wrote on the whiteboards the common and proper noun. These lessons, I will say, probably shouldn't take more than an hour to teach and do all of these activities in a week. An hour, it usually takes about 45 minutes to get through most of it, and I might have another 15 minutes of work time, 10-15 minutes of work time to have them finish the workbook. That is lesson 11 from Prima Latina. I hope you enjoyed this, and Wale.